Yeah, it seemed like the only guy that showed up was Dobie.
All right, I can't work on this office every single night. I need to make videos at some point. So since there's still not very much going on in the Montreal Canadiens universe, let's spin the wheel. I'm going to spin the wheel again, so let's talk about it.
I only shoot and score. Then if you score, then we'll come.
Check, check, check. Yeah, things with me have been going well. You might be able to see right here, but I finished my desktop. That was the big task. I didn't want to buy a butcher block top because I knew that I wanted to build at least 8 feet of desk space. And yeah, it would cost a lot of money, but that's the look that I wanted to go for. So I planed, I sanded, I stained, and I made my own countertop. And I really like how it turned out. I'm going to do like a unveiling of the new setup. So look forward to that. I don't think I'll hide that one behind a member wall, although typically I would do that type of thing with that type of video. I might do it like a members only premiere and then change it to public. So where did we leave off with the wheel? I'm going to have to go back and see who we've selected already. Okay, yeah, Texier, unexpected hero, Suzuki, steadiest player, Hudson, most underpaid, Monty wildcard. Geez, I don't remember some of these. Surprise scorer, memorable moment. Some kind of weird categories. I hope we get some easier ones today. Well, I guess why delay it? Let's spin this wheel. I'm going to try to come up with some predictions here. Come on, big money, big money, big money. I probably already did that bit, right? Blue collar hero. Did we already do this one? No, we did unexpected hero. We also did most underrated. Well, this is actually kind of easy because there's players that come to mind immediately when you think of blue collar heroes on this team. One would be Jake Evans, and we've already done him. Then it's Josh Anderson. Already did him. Then I guess it would be Phil Danault. Phil Danault, I feel, has kind of had to change his game recently, right? He played 30 games for LA last season, didn't score a single goal. It took him to going to Montreal in order to score 6. He played 45 games, 6 goals, 6 assists with Montreal. Not the best year last year for Danault, but like I said, his role changed and it continued to be different in Montreal. That being said, starting the season with Montreal this season, I think the familiarity is going to help Danault a lot. He's not going to return to being like a 40, 50, scraping at 60 points per season player, but that's because he's getting older. I think Danault will continue having to play those hard minutes, but not 18, 19, 20 minutes a night. He'll play on the role player line. He'll be killing those penalties. He'll be getting the defensive zone deployments, but he will bring a good game in a blue collar way. So expect to see more points next season for Phil Danault. I'm just temper your expectations, not 40 points. Okay, who do we got next? Let's remove this from the wheel so we don't get it again. Spin her up, Buttercup. What do we got? Most reliable, most block shots, toughest competitor. Toughest competitor. When I think of toughest competitor, I think of motor. I think of who's going out there and putting in 110% each time. But the word toughest insinuates more different things than that, right? And it is for that reason that I'm going to go ahead and select Arber Xhekaj, who has come up in trade rumors recently, all dubious trade rumors, no great sources on that, although there has been sources indicating that Arber Xhekaj is being called about, and there's a lot of teams that are interested in Arber Xhekaj if he ever comes up in the topic of conversation. What does next season have in store for Arber? I mean, obviously, Xhekaj is a fan favorite with, a lot of the fan base. Some of the fan base, take it for what it is and say, hey, he's the 7th defenseman. How much can you really like this guy? But he's not really that. Well, he's the 7th defenseman, but he fulfills a role that Montreal doesn't really have anywhere else. He's the type of player that you need to know when he's on the ice. So he puts the other team on their toes a little bit, gets them thinking differently. The thing is, he's not being used effectively. And this actually feels like it could be a pretty big if Montreal carries him over into next season, his role's going to change. They're going to have to figure out a way to use him. They're not going to pay this guy good money to play 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes a game. My thinking, and others have also expressed this, is that if they sign Arber Xhekaj at, like 2 million, 2.5, something, somewhere around there, it's going to be a deal on behalf of the organization, on behalf of Arber Xhekaj's team that, hey, yeah, we're taking this money, but we want more time on the ice. And the organization is going to say, you're getting this money, but we expect more from you. If he's traded, I have no idea what's going to happen to this guy. He could find his identity again. He could play like an unchained dog, like he did in the first couple of seasons. But I think that if he does stay in Montreal, the leash will stay around his neck, but he'll be given more time on the ice, more time to prove himself, but also more time to shine lights on maybe some of the things that he has shortcomings at. So my prediction for Arber is, if he stays on the team, more time on the ice.
We could all use a clean sheet sometimes.
Okie dokie, let's continue moving on. Are we moving at a pretty brisk pace here? All right, let's remove that one and spin her up. Where's it gonna land this time? Player everyone most wins, biggest save. Biggest save of the season. Biggest save of the season. I mean, it's probably gonna be Dobesh, but I think I'll take this category, even though I feel like I should actually just remove it and spin the wheel again, because this is kind of lame. But I'm going to throw in Fowler here to get all of the goalies accounted for. And yeah, biggest save of the season. Sure, Fowler could provide that save. They all could. I think that this season it's Dobesh's net until he loses it, which, knock on wood, I hope he doesn't. But Jacob Fowler still feels like the future. He's still just so young. And you could tell, like painfully so, just how much the Montreal Canadiens did not want to call Fowler up last season and give him that full season in the AHL to find his confidence, find his game, and just prepare him for the big show. Why was it so painful? Well, they gave Montembeault how many chances again to reset himself? An incredible amount. It is so much so that although the Canadiens haven't changed that much this postseason, with the departure of, Line A, the departure of Veleno and Gallagher, and the idea that Samuel Montembeault will not find as much time in the net, a lot of analysts are saying the Montreal Canadiens have improved a lot over this offseason and that they'll finish well above 100 points once again. Still, I don't think that management wanted to put Fowler in net last season, but when he did get the opportunity, he showed that he could hang. Finished with a .908 save percentage, and what was the goals against that? It was 2.43, I think, or something like that. Damn, I was dead on. 2.43 goals against average. 9 wins, 6 losses, 2 overtime losses. Yeah, a 9-8 record, basically. He got screwed on some of those losses, though. Those were like bad losses. The thing is, his mechanics are there. He does look cool, calm under pressure. If he lets in a bad one afterwards, he doesn't look like he's going to let in another one. And when they interview him, it just seems like he has such good mentals, like the perfect attitude for this. So what is my prediction for Jacob Fowler this season? Geez, what did I say about Montembeault in previous episodes? There's a part of me that's been brainwashed a little bit because I did not think that Montembeault would start the season with the Montreal Canadiens, but Marco D'Amico is putting a worm into my brain, floating the theory that they might, start with Montembeault, find a trade for him once he creates some value for himself, and then they would call up Fowler and move on from there. But I feel like they might move Montembeault in like a package deal and sell him super cheap just to get him out of the market and to get Fowler, rolling right away, because it kind of looks that way in Laval right now. They've got Hunter Jones, Kakkonen, LaPenna, and I think that they have Mandalese. Wasn't he a goaltender for Ottawa? Yeah. Kevin Manley's Ottawa goaltender played 3 games. So he played 3 games in 22-23 and then never got a shot again in the big show. Blainville, Quebec. Yeah, so it feels like at least they have an escape plan in Laval if they do need to lend Fowler to the big team. So my theory is if Montembeault starts the season with the Montreal Canadiens, then yeah, they'll create some value for him and then likely move on from Montembeault, because I think that Fowler's going to stay with the organization and he is kind of a future goaltender or somebody that's going to be a future goaltender in the making. I'm not sure if it's going to be for the Canadiens. I want to say, yeah, probably so. He's super young, like I said. But once he does get rolling with the Canadiens, I think he's going to have his best season yet. And this might be his rookie season. So maybe he'll be in the race for the Calder if he does well enough. So bold predictions. We're looking for headlines here. That's the fun part of these videos. So my bold prediction is that Jacob Fowler will play for the Montreal Canadiens this season. It will be his rookie season, and he'll come up in Calder whispers. How are we doing for time here? Oh my gosh, I am okay. Yeah, let's move this along. What do we got next? Spin the wheel. What do we got? Something fun. Come on. Let's see something fun here. Most penalty minutes. Dang it. We already took Arber Xhekaj. Obviously, Xhekaj is the obvious selection for this. I'm just checking to see who was second on the team. I'm going to go ahead and guess that it was Anderson. Yeah, absolutely. Josh Anderson. I mean, that's not a surprise. That's a pretty educated guess, but obvious as well. Unfortunately, we've already selected Josh Anderson for best leader. So in that case, I'm going to have to go ahead and say Jayden Struble. Will Jayden Struble start the season with the Montreal Canadiens? I think that there's a good chance that he gets dealt. They have to do something with the logjam on the left side in terms of defensemen. But I say that about Jayden Struble, and it pains me because I really like the player that he has become. And I think that no matter where he goes, he's going to serve that team incredibly. His role on the Canadiens, it's somewhat of a reduced role. I think that he could take on more. But when he's playing with Lane Hutson, I mean, that's a big compliment to where he's gotten to as an individual who was ahead of his timeline in terms of being implemented into the NHL. And a lot of analysts said that maybe he wouldn't ever play in the NHL. So it's good to see him. Another second round selection from the Montreal Canadiens that really ended up panning out. Another bold prediction. I guess I'm going with this. I was trying to find something more positive, especially because I know that a lot of people really are a big fan of Jayden Struble, but I really feel like he's going to be traded. So that's my prediction. He's going to be traded. He just doesn't provide enough for the Montreal Canadiens, and he might play this season for the Montreal Canadiens. But if the Canadiens go to the playoffs, yeah, I mean, even if they don't go to the playoffs, I think he's gonna find possibly greener pastures. I think Jayden Struble's career will flourish away from the Montreal Canadiens in a way, but almost through no fault of his own. The Canadiens can't use Jayden Struble right now. They need to find somebody right shot for Lane Hutson. And if we're talking about bottom two, left shot for a left shot defenseman, the bottom pair, I mean, the individual needs to be a role player. And that's why I think that Arber Xhekaj takes the seat there. But it feels obvious that the Montreal Canadiens are also looking for more skilled size in the bottom defensive pair. Yeah, we're getting it all out in this video, I guess. Okay, who's next? Whose life am I gonna ruin next? Let's spin this thing. Come on, baby. Nice, easy one, a fun one to take us out. Come on, please. Most penalty minutes again. Biggest hit. Dang it. This is another rough one. It's rough because I feel like this is my way to get Kaiden Guhle in here, but I've been kind of theorizing that Guhle could be sitting on the outside as well. But I don't know. I've kind of been softening on that recently. Maybe with Lalonde behind the bench, he could make Guhle and Matheson work. I don't know. Carrier and Matheson, yeah, they came out under a lot of fire last season, especially in the playoffs. The seams started to come apart. And then, of course, you kind of want Dobson with Hudson. Did Dobson and Matheson work that good? No. Dobson needs to be a tougher opponent. They just really need a top 4 right shot defenseman who's big, lanky, and hard to play with. But although it's not ideal, I think Hudson likes the ability to move around a lot in the offensive zone. He doesn't hate playing on his offside. So if a Hudson and Guhle line could work, you never know. Maybe that's how Guhle keeps his foot in the door. Because I keep saying it, and I'll continue saying it. Guhle, if you're putting Guhle on the bottom pair, that is not his pedigree. He was meant to be more than that. I understand with injuries, there's been some setbacks, and maybe he's coming in under where they predicted he would be, but I can't think of a world where it makes sense that Kaiden Guhle is a bottom pairing defenseman. You know what I mean? His camp is not going to like that. Management is going to say you're not meeting your performance. So they have to think of something for Kaiden Guhle. So since I've already said they're trading Jayden Struble, I'm gonna flip-flop. I'm gonna pancake here because I don't like the waffle. I'm gonna say that Kaiden Guhle sticks with the Montreal Canadiens and Derek Lalonde finds a way to make Kaiden Guhle work in the top 4. He's also gonna lay some big hits because that's what we know him for, laying some pretty big hits. All right, that's 5. My job is done. This video took way longer than I expected, but maybe this is going to make for some good background listening for you. Maybe you're mowing the lawn. Maybe you're driving in your car. I honestly think I could easily do a podcast all by myself. It would be great to have a co-host. I don't know who would do that with me though. Who could be my co-host if I did a podcast, like an hour-long format? Is there a site that's almost like a dating site except for individuals who are trying to find podcast co-hosts? I like long walks on the beach and talking about the Montreal Canadiens. Anyway, it's almost 12 o'clock. I got to hit the sack. Hope you all are doing well. I'll be talking to you again. My computer's all set up. It just doesn't sound good in here. It's echoing. Noises are bouncing every way. The sound treatment is not all put up. The room is also kind of empty. And it does bug me. It bugs me a lot. And I'll admit it, it's been a little bit of a reason why I haven't been doing videos. I have a background in sound engineering, so it's something that it bugs me. Anyway, I gotta go. You guys know what to do. Like the video, helps me out with probably how you find videos on YouTube, I assume. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.